Hello? Hello, I'm back today with another nail tutorial. I recently posted an image on my Instagram stories of French fade, French ombre nail that I had going on. I had so many DMs asking for a video on it, so that's what we're gonna do today. These are the nails that I would normally get when I would go to the nail salon, and I learned how to do it on my own. I grew these nails myself. They are my natural nails. I learned this technique from my nail tech, and I doubt that she's watching this, but if she is, hi, I miss you. I hope I'm doing a good job. I'm trying my best. Quick little disclaimer for anybody that's new to my channel, I am not a professional nail tech, I'm a professional makeup artist. Everything that I have learned how to do has been through trial and error and through watching my nail tech do my nails. So I'm not a pro, I'm not claiming to be a pro, I'm just a girl trying to save a couple bucks. I like this tutorial so much that I filmed it not once, but twice. Actually, I had to film it twice because the first time I fucked up and I was completely out of frame, and they turned out really well, so the pressure was on to get them right the second time. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Everything that I use will be listed in the description box below. If you do enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and staying subscribed, and let's get into it. Welcome back to Salon Reens. Unlike my previous videos, I did not do my right hand off camera before filming this because it would take way too long and I just wanted to get the show on the road. Today I'm going to be showing you how I do what is called a French ombre, a French fade, a baby boomer manicure at home using gel polish and a few other things. Some of you have asked me how long my gel manicures last. They last about 3 to 4 weeks, and this here is what my nails look like at the 3.5 week mark. Not bad at all if I do say so myself. So as always, I'm starting off with removal. First, with a gentle nail file, I'm roughing up the top of my nails so that when I soak my nails, my remover solution penetrates the polish faster and I can remove my old polish easier. Normally to soak my nails, I would wrap my fingers in aluminum foil with cotton balls and acetone, but I recently picked up a bag of these soak-off nail clips on Amazon and they have been a game changer. Aluminum foil who? We don't know her. I will link them in the description box below if you're interested. So to soak my old gel polish off, I'm using my Gelish artificial nail remover, which is basically just acetone. I like to pour it into a little glass, and then with a pair of tweezers, I pick up a piece of my cotton ball, I saturate it with acetone, and I place it on top of my nail. Once my nail is completely covered by the cotton ball, including the very tip of my nail, I take my little nail clip and I set it into place, encapsulating my fingertip. These little nail clips are actually pretty snug. I was pleasantly surprised, especially if you use the right amount of cotton. After about 10 to 15 minutes of soaking, it's time to remove my old nail polish, and because I filed the tops of my nails before soaking them, the nail polish should crumble and or peel right off as it is here. With the gentle side of my nail file, I'm just filing the tops of my nails to smooth them out from that removal process. They look a little rough. We just want to smooth those babies out. As per usual, I'm cleaning up my workstation with my little dirt devil, and then I'm going off camera and I'm washing my hands. Washing your hands is very important when preparing your hands for a manicure. Now it's time to trim my cuticles and groom my nails. As always, I am first soaking my cuticles using the Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover. This stuff is bomb. It softens and melts away any excess skin around my nails. It says to leave it on for a minute. I like to live life on the edge and I leave it on for like 5 to 10 minutes. Then I scrape away all the dead skin using the paddle side of my cuticle pusher tool. Like I've said in my previous videos as well as in the comments, this method is a personal preference. You can just push your cuticles back and leave it at that, but I like to go in and scrape away all the dead skin and trim whatever is hanging around. After I have scraped away all of the dead skin around my nails, I'm wiping up all that mush that's left over with a lint-free nail wipe, and I'm trimming the dead skin with my Cuticle Nipper tool. This tool is super sharp, so I'm being very careful not to cut my live skin, although sometimes it happens. I'm currently trying out a couple of different e-files, and they come with different tips. Some of the tips are specifically designed to file away any dead skin around your nails. So I'll let you know if any of them are any good in future videos. I've got a couple on the go right now. One of them really sucks, but we'll talk about that in a later video. I'm cleaning up my cuticle mess with my Dirt Devil again, and I'm moving on to filing my nails. One of you suggested that I try a glass nail file because it does less damage to the nail. So I picked this one up from Sally Beauty. It's all right. It's taken a little bit getting used to, but I like switching things up once in a while. At the time of filming this, as in the first time I filmed this, I was going for more of a square shape, but you'll notice by the time that I refilmed it, my nails had grown out a little bit longer. Once my fingernails are nice and groomed and filed, I'm gonna go wash my hands off camera again to make sure that I get off any excess cuticle remover gel that may be lingering around my nails. And then it's time to prep my nails for painting. So I'm starting off by cleansing my nails using the CND Nail Surface Cleaner with a lint-free nail wipe. I finally repurchased these and I'm so glad I did because I don't have to worry about little pieces of cotton hanging around my nails, getting into my gel polish. What the nail surface cleaner does is it ensures that my nails are clean of any dirt and oil left on them, which will make my polish adhere better. Soon after this, shit hit the fan. I ended up completely out of frame, so I had to start the painting process all over again days later. I left my thumb the way it was to save time though. So for those of you who are new to my channel, this is the Gelish Mini Complete Starter Kit. It is the kit that I've been using for a long time. I will link it in the description box below. Before I begin the painting process, I'm going to apply some of the Gelish pH Bond Nail Dehydrator to my nails. By this point, you can see that my nails have grown out a bit, which is wild because it had only been like 3 or 4 days. So I'm starting out by applying a thin coat of my Gelish Foundation, which will act as my base for the rest of my products. A base creates a sticky adhesive bond between the nail plate and the polish without damaging the nail. I sound like a broken record at this point, but when working with gel polishes, always keep your coats thin. Not only will this prevent the polish from dripping down the sides of your nails onto your skin, creating a complete mess, but your manicure will last longer for it. I've had a few people tell me that when they do gel manicures, their nails pop off within like 2 days. You are either not prepping your nails correctly and not capping your free edges, which is causing you lifting, or you are applying your coats way too thick, resulting in a thick manicure prone to peeling and popping off. So work in very thin layers. Once my foundation is on, I'm going to cure it for 45 seconds using my Gelish LED lamp that came with my kit. After my foundation is cured, I am moving on to applying my Gelish Clear Structure Gel. This gel is amazing. You've seen me use it in the past. The only reason that I'm using this today is because my nails are super thin from doing them twice in 1 week because I messed up filming. I did not use this the first time I filmed this video because creating a French fade requires a bit more layering than usual, and I didn't want my nails to turn out super thick. So for that reason, I don't know that I would recommend using this gel this time around unless you also have paper thin nails as I do today. In any case, this gel helps to strengthen thin nails, provides a smooth surface for color polish. If you have any damage, unevenness, or ridges in your nails, this will fill them and even them right up and give you a smooth canvas. I've had so many comments and DMs asking where in the hell you guys can buy this online because no one seems to be able to find it. I posted it on my Instagram stories, so if you don't follow me there, you should. It's where I'm the most active. But you can find it on universalnailsupplies.com. They have all of the shades that it comes in. They also have OPI gel polishes that you've seen me use in my previous videos, and they also have the large Gelish bottles that you guys have asked me about in the comments. Sally Beauty only carries mini Gelish bottles, and no, this is not sponsored. They have no idea who the hell I am. I'm just super stoked that I can finally direct you guys to a website where you can find what I'm using because I purchase my products from Cosmoprof and it's not open to the public. The reason I'm able to shop there is because I have a makeup artistry diploma. Today I'm working with OPI Bubble Bath Gel Polish as as my base for my French fade. This is really pretty. It's a sheer baby pink. It can be worn super sheer or you can build it up. It looks beautiful on its own, but today I'm going to be using it as a base for my French fade. Like you saw in my previous clip, you can find this on universalnailsupplies.com, but funny enough, I was able to find it on walmart.com. They have quite a few OPI gel polishes on there. I know, random. So I ended up doing 3 very thin coats of this, and I cured each coat for 45 seconds. I picked up a bunch of these protective peel off nail wraps from Amazon. I think I got like 10 sheets for $10, which is not bad at all. You get 10 wraps per sheet, which is enough for 1 manicure if you're doing both hands. These are great if you're doing any kind of nail art or stamping and you don't want to make a mess on the skin around your cuticles, under the nail, or on the skin on the sides of your nails. There are other products you can use to achieve this, like liquid latex or liquid tape. Sally Hansen makes something similar to this that you can pick up at Target. So these are a little bit tricky to apply because they're very thin, they're very sticky, and they flop all over the place. What I do is I cut them off one at a time and I peel back the thick side of the plastic cover, leaving the sticky side exposed. And then I gently place it over my finger around my nail and I start to peel back the remaining clear cover, making sure not to let the 2 sides of the wrap touch, because once the wrap sticks to itself, it's a wrap. It's game over, no pun intended. It's super hard to pull them apart, so you gotta be real careful. Then I just finesse the wrap until it's perfectly wrapped around my cuticle, protecting the sides of my nails as well as the underneath part of my nail. It took me a few tries to get used to doing this when I first picked these up, but the more you work with them, the easier it gets. You kind of get used to them. You just have to work really slowly and be very patient. Once they're on though, they're set in place and you don't have to worry about them moving. They're not going anywhere. Now that those are on, I'm taking bubble bath again and I'm painting the bottom half of my nail closest to my cuticles with it. I'm not curing this, and I'm only applying this to the bottom portion because the top portion is where I will be applying my fade and I need something to blend it into. It'll make more sense in a second. So for my French fade, I will be working with a sponge, but not just any sponge. I prefer the latex free sponge on the right because it is much less porous than the latex sponge on the left. With regular nail polish, usually people will paint the sponge with the polish to create an ombre effect and then roll the sponge onto the nail. We are not doing that today. That method does not work very well with gel polish, at least not the ones that I own. Reason being, gel polish is much thicker and it does not dry until you cure it. Some gel polishes also require multiple layers until you get a good opacity, so by the time you get your desired look, you'll have a really thick nail. So what I'm doing today is I'm using a bit of my OPI Bubble Bath gel polish as well as a white non-toxic acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is commonly used for nail art when working with gel polish because it is not only very opaque, but it's very easy to clean up if it gets on your skin. With a little wooden stick, I'm taking a bit of my acrylic paint and I'm placing it next to my Bubble Bath gel polish on a piece of aluminum foil. The first coat is going to be very light, so I'm only using a little bit of the white. Then I'm taking my sponge, cutting it in half, saving the other half for later, and I'm dipping it into my gel polish and the acrylic paint and mixing them together, and I'm stamping the excess away on the aluminum foil until I feel like I have the right opacity and I see a smooth pattern on the aluminum foil. Then I'm gently stamping the sponge against my nail about halfway up the nail. I'm meeting up with that coat of bubble bath that I applied from my cuticle to the middle of the nail. Mixing the gel polish with the acrylic paint not only provides me with a nice gradient effect, but it also prevents the acrylic paint from drying as fast. If I were to use just the acrylic paint on its own, it would dry immediately upon application and I wouldn't be able to finesse it at all. It would just lift every time my sponge made contact with it, if you know what I mean. As you can see, my first layer is super sheer, which is what I wanted, and I'm going to cure it for 45 seconds and then I'm going to start again. This time I'm using a bit more of the white and I'm not using the same side of the sponge. I want fresh sponge for each coat, and for each coat, I use a little bit more white paint. For this coat, I'm not stamping the polish all the way up to the middle of the nail. I'm applying it just below where the last coat ended, if that makes sense. It's the same sort of technique that you would use to create an eyeshadow gradient. I'm also making sure to get the sides of my nails, and that's when those protective wraps come in handy, no pun intended. I'm just full of puns today. If I accidentally stamp my sponge just a little bit higher than I intended and the fade doesn't look quite as smooth as I'd like, I dip a clean corner of my sponge into just my bubble bath gel polish and I blend out the mistake. This works really well. And once I'm satisfied with my second layer, I cure it for 45 seconds and then I start again. Once again, I'm using a fresh sponge and a little bit more white this time, and I'm focusing this mainly on the very tips of my nails, as well as the free edges and the sides. Before I cure this coat, I'm using that same method that I showed you a few minutes ago. I'm taking a little bit of my bubble bath gel polish, applying it to the bottom of the nail plate closest to my cuticle, and then with a tiny piece of sponge, I'm smoothing out the edges of the top of my French fade. It is time to peel off the protective nail wraps, which is very satisfying to do, and I'm making sure to scrape off any bits that are stuck. Now I'm applying my first very thin layer of Gelish top coat. I'm just doing a very thin coat to lock in all of the hard work that I just did before I go in for finishing touches. So I'm curing that for 45 seconds. And just like my very first fade layer that I did, I'm mixing a tiny bit of white paint with bubble bath, and with a small sponge and a pair of tweezers, I'm blending out any edges that may look a little bit harsh. This is just a finishing touch. You don't have to do this. I do recommend this because I think it makes a world of a difference, and it helps that I'm doing it over that sticky layer of the top coat. Once I'm happy with my fade, it is time for my final coat of top coat, which is a little bit more generous than my first one. I'm using this to cap my free edges as well, which will prolong the life of my manicure. If you're having problems with lifting, cap those edges. I'm now wiping the sticky residue from my top coat with a lint-free nail wipe and my CND nail surface cleaner. This is a very important step, and this is the only time during my application that I wipe my nails clean. To finish everything off, I am massaging my cuticles with some cuticle oil to rehydrate them. And that concludes this video. I know it looks like a lot of work, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually not that bad, and it's totally worth it because your nails are gonna look bomb. Doing my right hand though, that is another story. I'm getting better at it, but it's still a damn struggle. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Everything that I use will be listed in the description box below as usual. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing and staying subscribed, and I'll see you in my next one. Okay, love you, bye.